Hello there, welcome to the Kerbal Space Program, Sandbox Experience, Episode 3. Geez, only Episode 3? Really? Anyway, as you can see, dual launch. So, we've been building the space station for 2 episodes, and I want to launch Kerbals and crew and go to the moon and Duna and all the other fancy places. We want to go to the fancy places and do stuff. So, we're going to complete the space station in this video. Okay, very simple. Launch 2 craft, finish the space station, assemble the last pieces, get it all up and running, and we'll off to go. And then, next episode, we can go and do Kerbal missions. So, yeah, get your names in ready, because we're going to be doing Kerbal missions. Kerbal missions! So, okay. So, the 2 craft we have, we got split screen. Kind of a little anomaly. The video on the left is 60 frames per second, the video on the right is 30 frames per second. It was just an accident during recording, and you get to see the difference between the two as well, which is quite useful. Anyway, so the ship on the left is a fuel tank for long duration missions when we need to refuel. The station will have the fuel for us, so we can actually bring craft back to the station, refuel them, and go off again. Great. The craft on the left contains 2 payloads. Those payloads are, wait for it, I can't remember. RCS tank for RCSing, and something else. 1 second, let's have a look. There we go. Oh yeah, that's nice. RCS tanks and crew quarters. Yes, crew quarters. So the RCS tank is going to be a pain to dock due to its odd layout, but there you go. You knew about that. Okay, so these took a little while to get docked, and it's part of the reason that it's taken so long to get this episode out is the sheer amount of fiddliness to get these things docked, because they are large components for a large station. Yeah, they're so big. Alright, so it took the one on the left took absolutely ages to get a rendezvous because it was so large and so hard to turn. It just took absolutely ages. The one on the right, it took about an hour just to dock this thing, about 10 tries, because it's just, by having the 2 docking ports angled, I tried using different things and it just wouldn't do it. Alignments were such a pain. I had to do this little trick at the end, and I'm rather impressed. I just flung it at the station and it worked quite well. Oh, that was yeah. Anyway, so here's the plan. The station needs a name, and if I don't get a good name in the comments, I think what I'll do, I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to just pick a name from a subscriber list. Random person, I don't know, or somebody from Twitter or somebody from YouTube comments. Somebody who's been active recently in the comments, or active before the next episode anyway, will get their name on the station. So, not necessarily just in the Kerbal videos, but in any other videos, or on Twitter in general, if you're active, I'm going to put your name to a shortlist, I'm going to do a random poll, and pick your name. So, very easy to get yourself into there. So, I think it's a great way to do it. Ships, stations, bases, and Kerbals will all be named after subscribers. That's probably the best way of doing it, I think, actually. Yeah. So the station will be that. Now, the station and ships will all be named. Now, the stations, I usually name stations with a 3-letter initial to do with the planet they're around. So Kerbal stations will be KIR, Kerbin. Duna station would be DUR for Duna. DUN. Mun and Mimas, yeah, the idea. However, ships are entirely different. Now, if it was a British military ship, we call it HMS. So, for example, the HMS Patrick. If it was an American ship, we call it the USS, or the USS Patrick. I don't know why I call it Patrick, by the way. But for future missions, long-term duration missions, like going out to the moon to land and stuff, what initials should we use? Now, initials are usually 3 letters, but I will allow 4. So HMS, and HMSS, and all that sort of stuff. I will allow 3 and I will allow 4 letters. So come on, give me some suggestions in the comments or over at Twitter, but whichever. What should we use? What initial should we use? Now, first of all, just a little thing. The ship on the left, right now, the one that's coming into dock with the fuel tank, it ran out of power because its solar panels were directly on with the sun. It ran out of power, so I had to bring out the little tug with its RTGs just to supply emergency battery power, which is why it's getting a tow right now, by the way. Just I should have even looked at the video really, shouldn't I? But the one on the right, just sort of gliding in now, that ship has no control right now, it's just gliding its way in. The control ship actually undocked a few moments ago, and just so you can see at the bottom of the screen there, it's just sort of gliding himself by. That took 5 attempts to glide it in there because it was impossible to fly in there. So that was almost pure luck that happened. In fact, if you look at the right of the right-hand screen, you can actually see the tanker, because the right-hand screen was filmed second, so you can actually see the tanker already attached. Now on the right, well, we'll wait for the left one to line up. On the right, we've got the tiny little docking craft I brought up with me. It's now heading back to pick up the crew quarters, because they require a large docking port. So yeah, it's going out there. Well, the one on the left is lining itself up for a jump. Now, I did have a problem with one on the left. Because of the little tug on the side, when it was thrusting forward, it was causing a torque issue, so I had to get rid of it at some point. Just get rid of the tug to one side. There we go. Go away, tug. And up. Come on, up. Wait for it. There we go. Tug separated. And put the tug to one side. Alright. So on the right hand side, we're bringing in the crew quarters. We're just going to line ourselves up. You can see the tug just floating there. The tug was there from earlier when I tried to use it for docking processes. It just didn't work being out of alignment. Anyway, go away, little tuggy. I don't even know what to call a tug actually. It should have its own name, because it is its own little craft, really, isn't it? Anyway, I will point out that I did film these 2 launches, and there were 2 other launches that didn't get filmed. Technical difficulties more than anything else. In one of them, the little tug did actually accidentally get deorbited. So, yeah. I may have to relaunch the little tug, because I do like it, and I think it's a cute little thing, and it does need to be on the station. So we will be relaunching the tug, but I'll do that off camera, because you don't really need to see that. But for now, it's not on the station. There are some crew quarters and a science bay that will be brought up. They say they didn't get recorded due to technical difficulties, but they are there, and you'll see them at the very end, because I did manage to get a screen at the very end. But here we go. So, we're going to bring in these 2 last pieces to document, and we're going to rescue the little tug before we eventually lose it. But, yeah, I think what do you think? The little tug is cute, and I do love it, and it took me a while to build it, and I do like the craft, so I'm going to keep it. I will be launching up again, because I do like it. But look at the lights on the right hand side. It's a nighttime docking, and then I realised, you know what? The space station, it has lights. Let's turn those lights on. There we go. That was so much nicer with lights on, doesn't it? Actually, I think the station looks really nice with lights. Especially with those blue ones on top and the white ones at the bottom, sort of adding a bit of contrast to it. It does look quite nice. And this was actually a really nice docking as well, really smooth. I'm actually... I do like docking, but it's such a fiddly process. I'd much rather be doing long duration burns and landings, which is part of the reason why this episode took so long to come on. I think it's just because it was going to be so fiddly docking. I didn't really want to do it, and I was just sort of going, okay, fair enough. It's going to be done. Get this episode done, get the station built, and we can do some really interesting stuff. So, because I really want to do this long-term mission. I want to go to Duna, I want to go to Eve. And from my experience of playing Kerbal Space Program, I've never been to Eve. I've only ever been to the Mun, Minmus, Kerbin, and Duna. I'm one of these guys that I got to Duna. What do we do next? I want to build a space station. Okay, we'll build a space station. Build a space. What do we do next? Build a base. Okay, we built a base. Now what? New version's out. Let's start a new save. And I've only ever been to Duna once. And I built a really elaborate parachuting system, and it was way before 0.23 or something like that. It was really like 0.19 or something like that. Anyway. So yeah, all of this, and it basically turned out to be a really fiddly station. I built a few really nice stations to pass. I do like it. So on the right hand side, we're going to start our deorbit process. We're just going to dock with the engine that brought us up here. I left it separated earlier. Well, the one on the left, it will now begin the final time. That took absolutely. It actually took several orbits because I lost power a couple of times. But that took quite a while to get lined up properly. But while we get that one lined up, we're going to connect up and deorbit. There we go. We can find it now. There we go. We're going to connect up to the engine, because I don't like leaving debris behind. So we're going to connect to the engine, and we're going to deorbit the engine. This little docking craft also comes down because it has unusual docking ports. It's not actually useful up here. If it was sort of one big one, one little one, I might consider leaving it up on the station, but it's actually one big one and no little ones. And even if it was little, with 2 of them, so I didn't really like leaving it up here. So it gets deorbited along with the engine that brought it up, while the big one is still slowly moving because it's so large. It was just No, it was just so big that it took ages to get it docked. Movements, it took ages to turn it around. Alright, so the little tug is coming back into its final docking before we lose it entirely. On the left and on the right, we're about to dock up with our engine. Come on. Nice little... I do think actually that little... It's nice and compact, that little drone. On both sides actually, but there we go. Okay, so we're going to start deorbiting this. I've skipped a little bit on the right hand side. We are going to start the deorbit process right now. So the right hand side is the deorbit, and yeah, the deorbit is actually quite elaborate. I mean, I do like the flame effects that are going on here. Okay, so we should start seeing some flame effects building up pretty soon. But I think what we'll do is have a little bit of a dance, shall we? Let's have a bit of music to this one. Ready and go. There we go. Alright, so we are gonna start spinning it, and we'll have a little dance on the way down. Whee! Okay, so on the left, however, now with the flames are beginning to warm us up on the right, because it's a bit cold actually, we're going to start bringing the little engine bay on that side back down as well, and I think we'll bring that one down on a steeper trajectory so it burns up faster, but let's see if we can get it to explode on the way down, shall we? The one on the right is actually on a very shallow trajectory, so it should come down much slower, but hopefully it'll burn up a little bit. The top panel should be popping pretty soon, actually, thinking about it. Yeah, there we go, and fire the engine, and we are deorbiting both ends. I did cut out the whole orbit burn deorbit bit, just so you can see the flame effects faster, but here we go! I love that little clunk at the end. And the little tug's still surviving. Now, like I said, the little tug's got a lot longer, lot shorter trajectory, and less time warping as well. Because I really should have time warped. I really shouldn't have time warped the first one, to tell you the truth. Anyway, while the little tug comes on down, what do you think of the music? I mean, I don't do it normally, but I put music for the entire thing because I think it would have been a bit weird without it, because this was post-commentary. I don't know I do post-commentary actually. I much prefer to comment while I'm doing so, but Kerbal Space Program doesn't do that very well. You kind of got to do post-commentary because of the way you deal with it. But anyway, let me know what you think, but I think it's time for me to show you the station, the completed, full station. Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Okay, here we go! Now, that music was a little bit loud, but I thought it well deserved it. The time it's taken to build this station, the amount of, well, it's been months really, 2 or 3 episodes over months. I hope, yeah, it deserved that kind of music. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get back to you later on. We will have another episode sooner rather than later, because I want one soon, because I want Kerbal to be going faster and faster and faster. So we're going to try and get enough episodes out as soon as we can. Definitely before 1.1 if we, well, try and do one before 1.1. But anyway, guys, let me know what you thought. Where should we go next? And I'll be picking Kerbals and naming ships. So there we go. Anyway, as usual, comments in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.